How do I develop self-discipline? First, you gotta have the mentality of a will to change, because, most likely you don't have any discipline. The thing is that most people don't have discipline. That's why they never finish anything. That's why people just dream and just talk and never create or finish anything. You develop self-discipline through creating habits. That's it. That's everything. You gotta realize that the patterns you have had thus far haven't been in advantage for you, for your life, so to speak. It has been a hindrance, or you're going in circles. You gotta break this, and you break this by implementing things you almost never do. If you don't have a typical day, then that will tell me that you're chaotic and you don't have discipline, and that's the root of all of your problems. You delegate your time, you're smart with your time, but this has to become a rhythm. It's not like you shouldn't look at your calendar all day long. That is in of itself a waste of time. It should be so easy to memorize that you don't have to even put it up there and show it to people. The whole day is a routine. The whole day has its different routines. And it's not like it's always exactly the same, but it's according to my criterias. So you gotta understand what you want out of this. For most people, and if you're depressed and have mental stuff, it is even more important just to start, all right? Just to start something. And one of the best things to start is having a better diet routine. Actually training, exercise, that should be, one of your core routines. That just makes perfect sense. Once you change your diet, naturally you change your exercise routine, or you implement it if you haven't had it. Thing is, all of these things are habits. You don't have to include habits as a meta thing into this. These are all habits. These are the parts of habits. Now, obviously, the habit thing, the meta thing, is for you to figure out when is the best time for me to train and eat and so forth. Now, that is something you have to figure out in terms of habits. But that will also come naturally, and that's why I speak of rhythms of life. You will realize this naturally. Or if you already have a job, you might have to go around this and try, morning routine, lunch, or whatever it is. It might be hard to do a OMAD on your lunch, but you can always try. Of course you can. Or you do a lunch and then dinner routine. You eat twice a day, but you fast the next day. Or you're very active, but I doubt you're very active. A lot of people don't have active jobs anymore. It's decreasing all the time, and it will just continue like that. It won't change, because technology will just make us, in some sense, lazier and lazier. So that's why this is more and more important. This philosophy will be more important in the future than it is now, actually. In the future, there will be incredibly lazy people. Only antidote to being lazy is to keep being in an excited state. Especially in the beginning, you have to train all the time so that you get this rhythm, so that you have a habit. That is how you develop discipline. This is how you develop discipline. You implement one thing and then the next, and then you try to build these and balance these. Once you have a rhythm, once you have a habit of training all the time, this is discipline. Fasting will make you even more disciplined, but if you find joy in each and every process, that's the key for this to last. Fasting, exercise, better sleeping habits, and meditation. You gotta breathe. You gotta breathe. I call it purpose time. That's when I work on my purpose. And then you have self time. That's when you work on yourself, on your foundation. Without discipline, without some order in your life, you won't finish anything. Look at all the people around you that has been in your life or are currently in your life, and ask yourself, why haven't they finished anything or created anything of true value? Why? Why aren't they someone? To be someone. Why aren't they someone? That is because they lack discipline. And they lack a deeper purpose as well. They lack a drive. If you want to get somewhere, if you want to be someone, you gotta finish things, but not just finish. You gotta be in love with your work, in love with it. You gotta be obsessed. All the greats are like that. Or for example, Goethe, he learned Serbian so that he could understand and translate and write about Serbians and epic poems and stuff like that. You see, he was obsessed with language, and he has that obsession, and that's why he was great. I have my obsessions, and you have your obsessions. You focus on these obsessions. When I say focus, I'm speaking of discipline. What else can it mean? Focus. You focus on one thing, that's discipline. So discipline is the root there. It's working behind everything, and you need it in your life, or else you will never achieve your higher desires. If you want to be an author, for example, and you just smother this dream, that is to me, that is the biggest sin, all right? Now that's a sin. Reading or creating books, and whatever it is. I don't know what your dreams are, but whatever your dream is, intellectual stuff, or philosophical stuff, creative things, business things perhaps. But you should be ambitious. But to achieve that ambition requires self-discipline. A lack of discipline is the root of all problems. And it might even ruin your life. So time to start. It is time to start. You gotta have this energy of, I don't wanna wait anymore. I'm sick of waiting. I'm sick of patience. I'm sick of being patient. But you gotta understand, I want it now, but I wanna go after it now. That's more precise. Because you can't just build muscles in 2 weeks, all right? You can't lose fat in 2 weeks unless you fast yourself basically to death. And most people can't do that. Most people aren't extreme and crazy. Most people just have fear of everything. On your way there, on your journey, on your way there, you will see that discipline comes automatically. Because once you have a training routine and eating properly, and those things work together, then your sleep will improve, and including some meditation as well, and you have the recipe for self-discipline. And that's all you need.